On a crisp fall night, across sweat-stained fields of green, for over a century, these battles for bragging rights have raged across the nation. Tradition, camaraderie, and a desire for victory like no other create a passion among these gladiators of the gridiron, where outcomes become not just victories, but legend. These games are the Great American Rivalry Series. On a cold December day in 1905, New Jersey and Pennsylvania clashed in what has become one of the oldest cross-border conflicts in the nation. Now playing on Thanksgiving Day, the Peaburg-Easton matchup brings together families, fans, and alums alike.
The more this game continues on, as you look around, you can see all the parents, grandparents, and the grandkids now coming around.
And it's all about the kids on the field, also the cheerleaders, the band, and all the people that come back at Thanksgiving time to be a part of this.
We got here at 6 a.m. this morning and continued from last night, setting up, getting everything ready to go. Been coming here 35 years since I was a kid growing up. My dad taught here in school, so.
A guy just came to me and said this is going to be his 61st straight game. He's never missed a game in 61 years, so I think that's pretty awesome.
It's not just a game for the kids today, it's a game for the grandparents and everyone else who has played in it.
Some people make their name for the rest of their life in this game, so it's kind of neat what goes on, for sure.
Books, movies, and even television shows can't begin to portray the tradition represented by this original Friday Night Lights showdown. As the sun sets, the lights shine down on the Odessa-Permian-Midland League clash, adding to the lore that is West Texas football.
When there's excitement in the air like there is with Friday Night Football, especially out here in West Texas, and the Odessa-Permian football game, or any Odessa-Permian football game, is phenomenal.
When you're playing against Lee, you have to come out and be ready to knock heads.
Well, this is a big game for us every year.
We've been kind of involved with these two teams since the 80s.
What it means to be a Permian cheerleader is that you get mojo in your life every day, and it's kind of an indescribable thing.
We were willing to face anybody at any time. I think that, this mojo is back in the city.
Here we are once again at the end of an annual classic here in Odessa. But Permian came on strong in the second half and closed the deal on one of the classics in the Great American Rivalry Series.
Family, friends, and alumni from across the country gather to tailgate for the largest regular season rivalry game in the country. With the traditional shillelagh firmly in the hands of the winning team, the more than 35,000 fans exit the stadium, and plans are already underway for next year.
It's been going on since the 50s, and both schools have great traditions in football. The two school communities, as you can see by the crowd, they mark this game on their calendars and they come out here, and it's just a great opportunity for all of us to get together. And they got to remember that even though it is a huge rivalry and there's going to be a lot of people here, it's still football.
Just beyond the beaches and palm trees, the bright lights shine down on a carpet of green. And if you stop to listen, you'll hear the sounds of a pounding drum line, welcoming the soldiers of the Soul Bowl to another battle in Broward. A performance of historical proportions is sure to ensue.
It's always this big a game. Yeah, you can expect this stadium to be full in about an hour.
This is a big game. We have fun. The kids have fun. This is the biggest game, the Soul Bowl. It has been like that ever since I was a little girl. I mean, my uncle played for Ely, my brother played for Ely, so this is like a family event.
Dating back to the 19th century, Baltimore Poly versus Baltimore City has been a unifying and tradition-laden test for supremacy. With more foreshadowing than a Hollywood script, this rivalry, played in Raven Stadium, often produces players that will play there again someday.
I'm a 1977 graduate of the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. My experience in high school and Poly prepared me for the rest of my life. Don't leave anything on the field. When you walk away from this ball game, you say to yourself, I gave it all I had.
It was kind of like,
the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys, but it was a local event and it was big time in this area. And just to be able to play on Thanksgiving, be one of the featured games that was shown throughout the city, it always meant a little more, and the fact that we played City College made it that much more important.
This is a character builder for the players on these teams. They may not know it right now, but here you learn how to win. You learn how to lose. You learn how to conduct yourself with character and dignity. It's a season maker for the team. We look forward to it for the whole year. And like I said, you remember it for your whole life.
The first time these two schools met, there were no helmets, no pads, just football. With the NFL Football Hall of Fame just footsteps away, the tradition represented by the annual clash between Massillon and McKinley has few rivals in the state of Ohio, as these classic warriors fight for the right to own the day.
I remember as a small kid growing up, my main ambition was to play for the Massillon Tigers, and it really had an impact just watching those guys ahead of me lay the foundation for our great tradition. Still a great series.
As a fan of either of these two teams, you have a choice to make. You can wait to see one of them compete in the state championship game, or you can go to one of the best rivalries in the nation and see them both every year. This is the Backyard Bowl between Jenks and Union.
Well, we're 11 miles apart. We're the second and third largest schools in the state of Oklahoma.
It's not hard to, play at your best when, 35,000 people are watching you scream. If it was a 30-point game right now, it wouldn't be over. I've seen so many wild things, and that's probably why it's a great rivalry, is that it's never over until the last snap.
Combining for more than 24 state championships, the matchup between Burns and Gaffney pits two of South Carolina's biggest powerhouse programs on a playing field that is likely to give fans a preview of some of the state's best talent, surrounded by rich tradition and just good football.
We've been rivals, for years now, and you hate Gaffney. I mean, it just comes with it. Whenever you're in the Burns family, it just comes along with it. And whenever you play the game, they aren't fans of you either. So it just puts everything else into the game.
This game is it's outstanding. You gotta come here and watch it. I mean, it's prime time.
There's the best, and then there's the rest. And out west, when Mission Viejo and De La Salle line up, fans are assured of some of the best high school football around. But when they meet on a Friday night, it's all about that game and winning.
Well, I know Coach has a great program and he likes to play against the greatest programs. And De La Salle is a class act from Northern California. We play the tough teams down here, and I know he wanted to play some of the tougher teams throughout the great state of California, and he got one in De La Salle.
We come out, we play our hardest, and we're always proud to play for our school, for our community, and especially for our coaches.
In 1893, the first fans of the old rivalry, as it is known, tied up their horses outside rows of wooden bleachers to watch the boys from Male and Manual. This battle for the barrel predates electricity in Kentucky and epitomizes all the things envisioned as the originating game of the Great American Rivalry Series a decade ago.
The crowds are the biggest, the passions are the greatest. That's where you ought to be.
Everybody came to this game, whether you're a Male or a Manual fan, everybody came out to this game. It was played at the fairgrounds, which is really equivalent to this arena right here today, and it was great.
It's just a terrific rivalry. The students really excited about it.
And if you walk our halls, you'll see down our Male Manual Hall all the past history of this game. We take pride that we've been playing since 1893. And, our goal is to make sure that this game remains the sacred thing it is.
Well, it means everything. If you can't get excited about Male Manual Week, there's something wrong with you. We just have activities all week long for Male Manual Week, and we're excited to be out here at Papa John's Stadium playing the game. We got a great game today, and it's just exciting for the kids.
I grew up with the rivalry. My dad is a Manual person. He went to the high school in the 1920s. I went to Manual, followed my dad, and my dad started bringing me to the games in 1956. My dad is in the Hall of Fame at Manual. He went to 72 consecutive male Manual football games.
The male Manual rivalry is such a great rivalry. It goes back so far, and I am just so proud to be a part of it.
But when it comes time to put the helmets on Friday nights, and we hate each other for about 48 minutes.
These things right here, we don't give them away. They don't give them away. We thank you for what you're doing for our country.
One thing remains unchanged: the traditions as the greatest American rivalries.